Still a little sprinkly out. There's still a setup over there. I'm a little further down. I had to find some trees. Does Silver Island always do this? Or do I just not know how to set this thing up? I expected to sleep super well last night. And for the first 2 hours it was great because I was falling asleep during dinner. And then I kept waking up all the time and one of these lines came undone. So I had to get up and fix it. This is sagging, I don't know if you can tell. It's not supposed to rain tonight, and hopefully I'll get into Harper's Ferry tomorrow and be done. This place is like a maze. Oh, I need a site map here. I don't even remember how I came in last night. It's like this big, long, windy thing. There's a site map, just didn't see it in the dark. Just south of the campsite is Black Rock Cliff. It looks foggy out there. So it is not actually foggy out. But it did rain, so I'm not going to go on the rocks because they're a little slippery. We have a fancy bridge to go over the road. Washington Monument is in 3 miles. It's kind of spooky. Still pretty foggy out. Not really rainy though. Is this from a bear or some kind of bird? Sun's trying to come out a little bit. Maybe it'll burn all the fog off. It is almost 1 now. I left maybe an hour before Microwaves group left. Thought they would have caught up to me now because Switchblade seems pretty fast, but maybe they got a later start than I thought. I think we're just going like 11 miles today or something. Because the other option was like 16 miles. And I don't know if I can do that much, but maybe. It's also kind of late in the day. And I was hoping they would catch up so I could double check of what I thought. Because tomorrow, I think it's going to be like a 16-mile day into Harper's Ferry, which I think there's one big climb and then it's like a ridge walk, and then the last like 2 or 3 miles is the C&O Canal Trail, which is flat. So, but then of course I've got to go into town and up those stairs because I didn't finish that when I was first there. Almost up at the monument. I like the absolute zero context on this for people who aren't familiar with Washington. Washington Monument. Volunteer villagers of nearby Boonesboro celebrated their Independence Day, July 4th, 1827 by building and dedicating the first monument to the memory of George Washington. Repaired and altered many times over 100 years by patriotic citizens, it was finally restored to its original design in 1934-36 by the CCC. The monument used by the Union Army during the Civil War as a signal station and its surrounding land was bought by the Washington County Historical Society in 1922 and presented to the state of Maryland for park development in 1934. And now it's a Maryland Historical Monument. Pretty good view from the top. to West Virginia. There's a little thing there. I think somewhere over here you can see Pennsylvania. Like way off there. I guess these signs make more sense if you start at the bottom and hike up instead of starting at the top. These also seem like kind of random events at the same time. So I learned in one of the podcasts that I listened to that George Washington pretty much started the French and Indian War, and then the British raised taxes on the colonies to pay that back, and that's why we got mad and beat them in a war. So here's the first one. He's born. And then you walk all the way up this nice path and you see some history facts about him. And there's a little parking area down here. Some benches and stuff. Looks like there's a playground over there too. This is a little map of the Maryland section. We are Washington Monument State Park. So I think over halfway through. Neato. It's back to hot, cold. When the clouds move off, it's hot, and when they're blocking the sun, it's cold. Might have already said this, but my brain is fried from yesterday still. Today, I'm gonna do 11 miles, and then tomorrow is 16 miles to Harper's Ferry, I think. Far Out is doing this weird thing where it's like, oh, this is 5 miles away. Just kidding, it's 8 miles away. And then I'll pick a third number, and it's like, what are you doing, and why? So I'm almost done though. I didn't expect to be done this fast, so I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. Because I'm definitely ready to be done, but at the same time, I didn't expect to get through it this fast. Because I don't think I've ever done multiple, like 15 plus mile days in a row. And I guess today I'm not technically doing it, but a podcast I listened to about George Washington wasn't really about him, but it was the firm blood lies and royal ties. It's about the British monarchy. So I hadn't realized that they were basically a brand. Like, I guess they kind of were, but it wasn't. It was like, oh, they're a brand, but like they're doing things to make themselves look better and whatever, which I feel like they would have done anyway. But it's kind of an interesting podcast, and that's something I'm gonna miss, because I listen to like 8 to 10 hours worth of podcasts every day when I'm hiking, and I'm not gonna have time for that when I'm not hiking every day. This fungi is having the time of its life. Cool stone church. Guess it's not in use, but I also can't see a parking lot. This is the Dahlgren backpacking camping area. It's a porta potty and bathroom with a hiker log. Ground is too squishy for me to walk inside here, but I think this says that one of 2 generals died either here or near here. Confederate General Brigadier General Samuel Garland Jr. Fell mortally wounded near here in 1862. So this just talks about General Samuel Garland, and then the Union General Jesse L. Reno. His last words were, "Hello, Sam, I'm dead." Someone's put up a little memorial for Grandmaster. I think I talked about him at the time that it happened, but he was on McAfee knob, and he just kind of slumped forward and rolled off and ended up passing away. This is the turnoff for the Rocky Run shelters. Pretty sure that's 11 miles exactly, but I would need to consult the book. This is the new Rocky Run shelter. It looks just like that other one from yesterday. This is the old shelter. And there is a really nice water flow here. So we had a really nice dinner together and talked for a while. I don't think it's kind of hit yet because it feels very bizarre to be done, or almost done. The book says I did 10.7 miles, which is not quite the 11 I thought it was. Harper's Ferry is gonna be, I think, like 15.6 miles. There's like a big up and then kind of in a downward trend after that. Thank you for watching, commenting, donating, subscribing. Oh wait, I forgot. It's supposed to be in the like high 20s tonight, so one last freezing night on trail. Thank you for supporting me on this journey. It really means a lot to me. I will see you tomorrow.